Well then, that shows us how to get an orbit. Now, I'm going to launch the same ship, and we're going to dock. Now, same thing, we're going to put on our SAS. Again, you see we get suddenly that yellow circle, which obviously shows we are flying towards that point, since it doesn't have a cross. It means, usually in the opposite end of where the yellow one, you're going to have the yellow with a cross in it. That means if I accelerate towards the yellow with the cross, I'm going to slow myself down. So if I'm moving up, and I turn around, and I move it, and let's say I'm moving this way, diagonal to the right. If I turn around and I burn towards the yellow with the cross, it'll be somewhere exactly here. So exactly I'm going to be burning opposite. So this is, the yellow with the cross is exactly in the opposite end. So like that you know which way is burning towards where you're flying to, and burning opposite to where you're flying to slow your way down. Now the key thing is, when you're trying to get a target, or actually get an orbit with the object, always have the actual orbit below, or a smaller orbit. Don't try to have a bigger orbit, because you're going to use less fuel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn already 90 degrees now. As much as possible, actually. I do want to turn 90 degrees as much as possible. We do have a 75,000. We're going to be finishing off our fuel here soon. So it does go haywire, but we do have our RCS. That's a different tutorial. I'll explain that as well. Let's take a look at our orbit. Now we do have a very nice orbit of 85. Again, I'm going to cut the power. Burning from here consumes more fuel to get an orbit. If I burn closer to the apoapsis, or to whatever, to my 85,000 meter point, I will consume less fuel. So I'm going to go all the way as close as possible. See, if it's above the 75,000 mark, the actual trajectory or orbit line doesn't go back down. If it's below the 70,000, even 73,000, it gets pulled down by gravity. So make sure it's above 75. You know. So let's speed it up a bit. Well, the most effective way would probably be to have this satellite somewhere here. You know, quarter of the way like that, you directly impact it. But let's see. You know, it can be anywhere on the globe itself. It doesn't really matter. Let's just get closer to our actual apoapsis, because I don't want to burn a lot of fuel. I have very little fuel on this ship. And there we go. We're going to increase. And now you see I'm catching up to it, so I'm going to move back up. I'm going to move back up to, let's say, a 45 degree angle at a 90 degree. 90 degrees at a 45 degree angle. See, it's not catching up to it that much now. That's fine. Now it's moving a little bit forward. You see, it's fine. You can keep balancing, and I'm going to move a little bit down. I'm still at a 90 degree angle, yeah? Now I'm probably at a 35 degrees now. That's exactly where it is. That's perfect. Now, pretty much, again, the orbit you're going to probably get when you're going to hit around the 2,200 meters, 2,000 mark. You see it's growing, ever so growing. It's slowly growing. Now again, our yellow circle is here. Slowly, as we accelerate here, the yellow circle will actually start to move towards where we are accelerating to. It's the same principle. Remember I told you kick the ball, and then the wind blows, the ball doesn't immediately go to that direction. It slowly turns towards that direction. So the spaceship is used to flying in this direction, but since I'm burning or accelerating towards, let's say, the left, for example, let's say this is the left, that's slowly going to move towards the left. So in a way I am still flying sort of straight at a 90 degree angle, but it's moving slowly a little bit up now. Again, I'm going to move a little bit down, because I do have very, very big gap. Let's stop it. Actually, I stopped the acceleration. Let's catch up to it a bit. Let's speed it up. Slow down. Move it back down. Put on the SAS so it doesn't go out of control. And accelerate again. Now you see I'm catching up to it a little bit. So I can move back up a little bit. I'm still at 90 degrees. I can move back up a little bit. Actually, it's starting to move away. That's because we're nearly getting an orbit. Wait. There. We don't want to go back down. Let's move a little up. See? This is just a balancing act. Down and up. I don't want it to go far. I want it to be the most effective orbit. Most efficient, sorry, fuel efficient orbit. Shit, I moved a little bit out of track. It's fine, even if you cross it. Move it back up, see? It goes back in front of me. Let's close that. Still no orbit? Okay, let's accelerate again. Move back down. Now, to even be more efficient, what's cool is just before you get the orbit, you can be right there and go down. You can go down from that point because you accelerate when you go down. Remember, when you go up a hill, when you go down a hill, you accelerate. So it's the same principle. Again, now you're going to have 2 points. One of them is probably going to be higher than the other one. So 123,000 and 92,000. So you obviously know this is the highest point because remember, you're going up the hill, then you're going down the hill. You're going up the hill, which is here because this is the highest point. You're going to be losing speed. In the orbit, your actual orbit speed, this is your orbit speed. This is your speed in relation to Kerbal. You see, I'm going to be losing speed because I'm going up the hill. And when I go down the hill, I'm going to be gaining speed. So the fastest point is pretty much here. I'm probably going to be at around 2,000 something. Now, you're going to left click the spaceship, set as target. Again, to increase, now I'm going to have to increase my trajectory. It means that this blue line, I'm going to have to make it at least intersect at one point. It doesn't matter where, at least at one point where my actual target is, at least like at one point of my target's orbit. It means most probably here, because the most effective place to increase the trajectory while using the least amount of fuel, I'll repeat it again, the most effective place for me to burn my engines, to consume the least amount of fuel, is at the lowest point, because I am the fastest, remember? That's called, I don't know what the hell, U-birth effect. Okay? Forget that. Forget the actual proper name for it. Just think about it this way. You're going to burn going down the hill. Remember, the highest point, the lowest point. You're going to burn as close as possible to the bottom of the hill because you're going really, really fast. And if you switch on your engines at the bottom of the hill when you're like flying at lightning speed, you'll pretty much increase the orbit with less energy because you already gathered the energy from going down the hill. That's like basic simple terms of explanations. Okay, now I left clicked, of course, my target, my interested target, which was the orbit here. You can either left click the orbit or you can left click the satellite. And then once I left click my target, I'm going to hit set as target. And we are slowly actually going to burn towards that target. Now, let's accelerate a bit, and there. Now we're going to accelerate just a teeny weeny bit. You see, it's growing, growing, growing. X. It's always better to have, remember, your orbit should always be a little bit less than your actual target in general. Try not to have a bigger one. Nearly there. Nearly there. There we go. Okay. So there probably still is a space though. That's the problem. It's you can't see. I think there's a little bit of space. I could accelerate a little bit more, get a little bit closer. Okay. Now I have accelerated, and here I have one intersection point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is speed up the time. Now if the intersection point is wide, like here, this is the distance. It means my ship is going to be here and the other ship is going to be here, or vice versa. I don't exactly know, or I don't exactly care. One of the ships is going to be at one point and my other ship is going to be at that point, and this is the distance between the two. Now if I move my mouse on this, it tells me they're 208.9 kilometers between each other. So I'm going to speed it up and I'm going to go around it, because remember, I'm going from inside, so I'm going technically faster than the one going from outside. So I should catch up to it. So the next time I go around, it might be closer. So at least I'm going to make a circle, because I don't know how much it'll jump. Here. Now it's going to jump. There we go. That's perfect. Now, if it would be far away, your actual line would be here, and your other line would be here. Yeah. Make one circle. See how much it jumps. If it jumps by like a centimeter, then sort of calculate how many circles you need for it to catch up. You know, sometimes if it jumps till here, you might be, hey, you know what? I might risk it. I might have another circle, and it might jump a little bit further away from the first one. You know, you sort of get a feel for it. You can measure how much it jumps. That's why I sort of have an idea of how much it would jump, so I knew it would be a little bit closer. You see now it's 126 kilometers instead of the 200, whatever the hell it was, which is still far, but it's not that far. Now, you're going to speed it up again. Remember, at the lower point, 93, highest point, 155. Now we're going to speed it up again, and automatically, because we set it as a target, the orbit will switch to target, which is, our target is this. So it should slowly switch by itself. If not, then we do it. Let's slow it down. Okay, it doesn't. So we're going to left click and left click. Target. So our target is flying 331. We are flying in relation to our target 331 kilometers faster than our target. So what we're going to do is we're going to burn in the opposite direction, which is in relation to the target. So we're going faster than the target. So the opposite way, we're flying that way, and the opposite way is the yellow with the actual cross on it. The yellow circle with the cross is the opposite way. So we're going to accelerate and we're going to slow down. Now, of course, when you're slowing down, keep an eye out on your axis. You see it is going down, which isn't such a big deal. You know, wait till it goes down to like around 70, because you don't want to go back down to Earth, of course. Okay, and that's it. I'm going to cut it there. Now, again, I did make a very sloppy orbit just to show you in the one of the worst cases, you know. When you get really good at it, your actual intersect is much smaller and you won't need to fix it that much. Now I'm going to accelerate towards the target. Now look at the intersect points, yeah? See, this one's at 60 kilometers. So that's what I'm interested in. You have to keep an eye out on the intersect points now. Once you're at an intersect point, you burn opposite the target, which is the yellow circle with the cross, and then you burn a little bit towards it. Keep an eye on your axis, of course. Now this should be growing, of course. No, it is shrinking. It is shrinking, so we're going to cancel that. We're going to burn again. Opposite our target. We do want to get that intersect point. There we go. The intersect point is at 43 kilometers. So let's get to our intersect point. We're going to get to our second closest point, which is here at 49 kilometers. And now I'm going to burn again opposite. That's moving forward. I'm going to burn opposite because now I got to do it quickly before I hit the actual other side. Now it is growing. See, on this side it's actually growing the orbit. So I did sort of save myself. Now again, keep an eye out. Firstly, I needed above 70, which I did get. Now you gotta keep an eye out on your intersects. Nothing jumped as of yet, but I'm slowing down in relation to my target, which is brilliant. Okay. And look how closer it's getting. Let's increase the speed. 300. 306. There we go. What are we at? 46 kilometers? So, same thing. Switch off your thing, speed up to get to the 46 kilometers. Again, now we're going 170 kilometers faster, which isn't that fast anymore. We're going to move again. Yellow circle with the cross. And increase the speed. We slow ourselves down in relation to the target. You'll see it is going. This is going up. But it will get back down. How much are we? 50 kilometers? Yeah, it's going down. Now you gotta keep an eye out on it. 46. 40 kilometers. Okay, that's fine. Again, you gotta have feel for it. You see that the circle is expanding on the left side and not on the right. So don't keep increasing don't keep accelerating. Okay, yeah. I know it's a lot to take in, but don't keep accelerating. When you see the circles expanding to one side, don't keep accelerating just because you think you're getting closer. Stop it, because it'll get closer, then it'll go further because your actual orbit will go out. Okay, so stop it. There's no hurry. Then you go to this point, to the closest point, and you do the same thing. So now you're gonna move towards the closest point, which is pretty much 35 kilometers away. And we're going to stop it there. Again, we're going to find the yellow circle with the cross, which is right there, actually. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to accelerate. we are still going pretty fast in relation to the target. Now again, you see the intersect here? I have a 6-kilometer intersect. You know, you're gonna say that is excellent. That is a beautiful intersect, but still, I do want to get a little bit closer. And here, again, switch off our SAS. Now we're only going, because remember, I am a little bit too fast for the damn thing, so I don't want to go that fast when I intersect with it. 7 kilometers. I think we could start at 7 kilometers to get close. Okay. Now, we are 7 kilometers away. Where the hell's our target? We should be able to see it somewhere. There it is. There is our target. Now, what you're going to have to do is get your yellow circle on the pink yellow circle. Now, again, the pink X is the opposite side. It means to get my yellow circle on the pink. Remember what I said about accelerating? If I accelerate here, the yellow circle will come here. So pretty much the same thing. If I accelerate here, I will get... It'll come. It'll move. There it is. And let's see where it is. We are at 6 kilometers. Now we're going to burn here, so because we're going to drag it up. So we're going to burn above it. It'll move up, remember? We are blowing the wind. I don't know if that makes any sense. Okay. Now we're going pretty fast for it being 3.6 kilometers away. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn to the opposite side. And here it works oppositely. If I burn under it, it'll move towards it. So it's got to be very close. Where is it? There it is. Now I did lose it. You see it's going far because I burnt a little bit too late, so not a problem. I'm going to accelerate towards my target. This is the target. Let's get it more towards the target. And then let's go the opposite way. And again, we're going to burn on this side to get it down. See, we're getting the yellow exactly on the pink. What happened there is I overshot it. It means I got the yellow cross towards the pink circle, which is not it. You need the yellow cross on the pink cross, and that's pretty much it. Now again, I'm going 7.5 meters faster than my target, but because I'm far, I'll let it be because I'm still pretty far. So I need that speed. There's no point. I can turn around very quickly because it's a small ship. Well, it's not even. It's a tiny midget rocket. So as you see, I can spin it around very, very quickly. So that's not a big deal at all. If you have a bigger ship, you'll probably want to spin around earlier before you get there. Okay, this is a messy docking, but it's in a way it is on purpose. Like this, you'll learn it better. Now I'm getting closer, so I'm going to start slowing down again. I don't want the cross to move away, so I'm going to burn on this side to move it back. I want to move it back. There we go. Okay, 0.5. Let it go. There's no hurry. I could have actually kept the speed a little bit quicker, you know, but it's fine. Let's put that. Then you're going to hit the bracket, so we switch to our other ship, and we are going to want to actually set our other ship as a target. Now I got to find the damn thing first. If I can find the damn thing, that's also a good question. I don't know why I don't see it. I don't see it. because it is so small, you just don't see it. Let's switch. There we are. We're coming closer to it. Let's move again our... Now you double click to set it as target, and then you see where the target is. It's a little bit below it, but that's fine. We're still a bit far, so it's not a big deal at all. We're closing in. So again, I'm gonna accelerate, because remember, I'm accelerating on the opposite direction, you see? I'm accelerating on the opposite direction in relation to my target. When I set it as a target, the pink is my actual target, but the pink cross is opposite in relation to my target. I really hope this makes sense. Okay, let me hit the brackets again. Where the hell is my... There it is. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to set my ship as a target. And this time, this is the opposite end of the cross. I don't want the opposite end. I want to actually face my ship, because I'm docking with my ship. So let me face my ship. We're at 70 meters. Again, I'm going to put on the RCS. SAS. And we are facing our ship. Again, double click. Right click our port, set as target. And now we have an exact set target as we have set the target for the actual docking port, because I right clicked it and I set it as target. So that's it. Now again, this thing works on the principle that either if I accelerate, it moves up. So if I'd accelerate here, it'd move there, but I'm too close to accelerate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my RCS. No target, hold on. It jumped off for some odd reason. RCS, and I used my I, J, K, and L keys to move the actual yellow thing around. I want it centered, remember? Centered. Yellow circle on pink circle. Okay, maybe it's not perfect, but it's damn as good. Okay, I'm still 0.4 meters faster, which is fine, it's not such a big deal. Okay, now we're getting closer. But now we're pretty aligned to our actual target. Now again, you can always switch on your... Switch to your other station. Double click it. Right click, set as target, and do the same thing here. So, what you're going to do is obviously move your actual cursor on the center of the pink line to make sure you're aligned with your actual target generally. And then you're going to put on, switch off your SAS and use the J key, K, and I keys to get exactly aligned with it. And that's it. This is a more complicated one. In case you would mess up, this is ways to fix it. And that's pretty much it. Now just switch back. And all I do, just before I hit, I'd slow down a bit. So right click, set as target. Switch off my SAS, put on my RCS. Now I do believe it was... I think it's my second ship that has it. Hold on. I think it's my second ship that has it. Nope. I'm going a little bit fast. What you could do is you burn the RCS the opposite way to slow down more. But it's fine, it'll dock. There you go. And we are docked. This is what happens when you dock. It's pretty easy. Of course it's harder with bigger ships because it takes a long time to turn around. Now I'll show you the same thing, docking with this, but with one that has actually RCS on the front and the back, so you can slow down on impact. Docking at 0.5, it's still a little bit, you can say quick. You should dock at like 0.1, 0.2 when you're close by. But with these small ships, it's not a big deal. Okay, I'll show you that in a second.